Welcome. Still a minute or so before 1 o'clock, but let's get started. Not going to keep you long. I'm sure you want to spend this time preparing for your test on Saturday morning. Test is being written in Windhoek in classroom A, that's in the Science and Technology building. It will also be available at all the regional centers for students that are out of town. Let me share my screen. Okay, just give me a thumbs up if you could see the screen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so there was a request earlier today on the group for the layout of the test. Remember, there's a difference. Students always ask me for the scope. The scope is already indicated on your test notice. The scope of the test is the units that are included in the test. That is the scope of the test. In this instance, for this semester only, because we got a late start, it's unit 1, and then we skipped unit 2 and 3, and then from 4 to 7 again. So there are no questions from units 2 and 3. There also won't be in the examination. Okay, so let's look at this. What we have here, question 1, short knowledge-based questions, a number of them totaling up to 20 marks in total. This is pure studying. No application, everything just straightforward knowledge. Some tips here. Firstly, read your questions carefully. Make sure you know what exactly I'm asking. And then watch the mark allocation. If the question is 2 marks, a basic rule of thumb is 2 marks, 2 lines, 3 marks, 3 lines. If the question is 2 marks and you find yourself writing half a page, I can assure you, you are giving me the wrong answers. Tips here. Let me give you some tips. Some of you have already submitted your assignment. Assignment is due Sunday midnight. You might have, when you originally saw the course outline, thought, but this is unfair. Why do we have a test one day and have to submit the assignment the next day? Doing your assignment actually helps you prepare for the test. There's an overlap in the work covered. If you haven't done your assignment yet, sit down and do it today. It will literally help you in your preparation for the test. Can't say more than that without giving too much away. If you've already submitted your assignment, go back to it and read through your answers. I trust you prepared your answers yourself, which means they will now be in your head. If you did what you weren't supposed to do and got your answers off ChatGPT or whatever and just did a copy and paste, obviously you don't know what is actually in there if you didn't write it and look it up yourself, which is then rather sad. If I ask you the identical question in the test and you have no clue how to answer, because you never actually did the assignment questions yourself, If you did the assignment questions yourself, obviously you're going to have maybe not a perfect answer, but an answer in your head. Okay, so also I've already gave you this hint earlier in the week on the group. There's a study guide on e-learning, a flip book, which you can download. The actual notes, if you go down, right, if you're on the e-learning page, right on top is the study guide. If you go down, then you also find the separate units. Now, the content of the flipbook and the separate units are identical, except that the separate units don't contain the activities. The study guide was prepared when we still had a Center for Open and Lifelong Learning, according to distance education methodologies, which includes activities with feedback. I will really recommend that you go through those activities and look at the feedback. It will also assist you with your preparation for the test. Okay, question 2, structured application. What do I mean by this? When you did commercial law last semester, you also had structured application questions. Those were those ones about, is there a valid contract, motivate your answer, or is there per contract of purchase? No, you didn't do purchase and sale in commercial law 1A. Is there consensus, motivate your answer, that type of thing. Same type of question, but obviously based on the work that we've done so far in traffic and transportation law. So it could be something like, must the vehicle be licensed? Motivate your answer. By the way, if that is the question, those regulations pertaining to the registration of vehicles, I told you don't have to memorize those details. If that is the question, or if that question were to be in the exam, I will provide you with the regulations that you need in order to answer this. This is about application, structured application. So that's one possibility. Another possibility is operators must the, let's say, named person must the person register as an operator, motivate your answer. There's no handout, no attachment for this. We did operators. We looked at the classes of vehicles. Remember, the operator is not the driver. There's a difference between the driver and the operator. The operator must register. The operator is normally the owner of a vehicle that falls in a specific class of vehicles. Those classes of vehicles we did in class, they are in the notes. Instances where an operator must register for a particular vehicle. It is normally vehicles above a certain size that are used for gain, either in a business, as part of a business, for example, a construction company that has a bus that they uses to transport their construction workers. That company will be the operator. Or transport used for gain, a taxi needs to have an operator's license. So go back and make sure you know those categories of vehicles, because if that is the question, you need to answer the question based on the categories of vehicles. this vehicle that I describe in the question, must it be registered as an operator? And then a motivation referring to the law, not to the facts. A motivation isn't just rewriting the facts of the question. Okay, question 3, case study on human rights. You cannot do this case study without a copy of the Namibian Constitution, because you literally have to refer to the relevant sections of the Namibian Constitution. If you don't have a hard copy of the Constitution, you'll have to download and print for yourself. If you are printing one, you don't need the entire Constitution. Chapter 3, the chapter that deals with human rights, is sufficient. So how do you answer this case study? This case study is a very dramatic sub-story, and then you have to indicate which human rights have been infringed. You do this by referring to the relevant article in the Constitution, as well as to the facts that you are referring to. So here, I've just said with structured application, you don't repeat the facts. In the case study, you have to actually repeat the actual facts. So let's say blah, 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 what happened. This guy was arrested and he was locked up for a week without being given any food. So that infringes his right to dignity. So your answer will be Article 12, right to dignity. But if you just say right to dignity because you don't know it's Article 12 and you don't have your Constitution with you to look it up, you're not going to get maximum marks. I need the actual article and then the facts. He was not given any food. So you refer to the actual article and then the facts. You can swap it around. You can say he was not given any food, Article 12, right to dignity. That doesn't matter. But I'm looking for the article as well as the facts that you are basing this on. And then question 4, short case studies. Sort of application-ish, but also not too much. There are, once again, there are some of these in your assignment. So go back to your assignment and see, what do I mean by short case studies? These short case studies are not really application questions. They are more knowledge-based than actual application. They are just testing your knowledge in a fancier, more interesting way. So instead of just asking you, what may a traffic officer do if he stops a vehicle and the information on the license disc is not correct? That would be a knowledge-based question. I can give you a little bit of a story telling you that you are a traffic officer and on that day and day, time and date, you stop Johnny and notice that the information on his license disc is not correct. What can you do? So a little case study, a little story. But the answer is still the same. The answer is still just straightforward knowledge. So that's essentially the layout of the test. I hope this helps you a little bit, to give you a little bit of guidance. I'm not going to say the test is easy, but the test is also not designed to make you fail. There's no funny business in the test. There are no trick questions. There's nothing in there that I put in there to say, ha, I caught you out. None of that. I have no desire to catch you out. If you've studied, my desire is to see, have you studied? Have you acquired the necessary knowledge? So no funny business. Perfectly straightforward. Look at your assignment, look at the activities in the flip book. Any questions?
Yes, Miss. Good afternoon.
Mr. Halwoodi?
Yes, ma'am. No, Miss. For me, I'm just concerned about the time frame that we are writing the test for an hour. Are we not
Sorry,
supposed to at least to...
Mr. Halwoodi, I didn't have my sound switched on, so I didn't hear you. Apologies. Please start again.
Yes, Miss. No, I'm saying I'm only concerned about the time frame that we are writing, like for an hour. Are we not supposed to write at least for an hour, 20 or 30 minutes for 50 marks?
If you have prepared for the test, Mr. Halwoodi, you will finish with the greatest of ease. This is my standard test. Not my standard test, but pretty much standard format that I use every year with my students for test one. You will not have any problems finishing it. It is not overly long. It does not require pages and pages and pages of writing.
Thank you, Miss.
Mr. Kambinda?
Afternoon, ma'am.
Yes.
My question is not based on the test, and my apology if this question was asked by other student. It's based on the assignment, or more specifically on question 2. The numbering is repeating itself. Should we number it the same or something to be?
Yes. Yeah. My apologies there for the typo. That was my bad. It's really up to you. This has been answered on the group, but I'll repeat my answer, not a problem. You can either number the questions incorrectly, like they are on the assignment, or you can fix the numbering. I promise you, I will, when I mark your assignments, I will find your answer. Nobody will have questions not marked or something because of a typo that I made in my assignment. I will find your assignment, whether you number it as 2.1 or 2.2. I will figure out which question relates to which answer you've given relates to which question, and I will mark it accordingly. So it doesn't matter there whether you fix it or you follow the incorrect numbering that I have. You'll get, if your answers are correct, you'll get the marks.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay. Angelina?
Ma'am, I just wanted to find out, is it okay if we included the questions in the assignment, like type the question and then the answers, or should we just go straight forward to the answer because I typed the questions as well?
That makes no difference to me. It makes no difference to me. Well, you don't have to type the questions. It's not necessary because I have the assignment, so I know what the questions are. But if you already have that, is also 100%, you don't have to go back and delete it. It doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
So whatever.
Because I viewed my assignment after I submitted because my similarity went to 24%, and most of the highlighted stuff are the questions.
Yes, Ms. Makuve, as I also explained on the group, that the Turnitin similarity is just a guideline to alert me, must I take a deeper look or not? But I don't follow the similarities blindly without thought. So if I see, for example, your assignment and I see, okay, there's a 24 similarity, I will look where these similarities are, where the highlights are, And if I see the majority of the highlights are in questions where you repeated the question, then obviously this isn't plagiarism or anything. You repeated the question. So I pay no attention to it then. So I will definitely not then suddenly penalize you for a higher similarity score if it's just because you copied the questions. So for every single assignment I mark, I look at the similarities and then I check, where are these similarities? There are, because this is a law course, there are some legal phrases, some legal words that you have to use. You can't change them. It's the terminology. So if that is highlighted as a similarity in your assignment, because all the students have used those words, I don't penalize you for that because it's not cheating. So I check your similarity to assess for myself as to whether, whether the similarity is academic dishonesty or whether it is just a coincidental similarity. So don't stress about, don't lose sleep about that at all. As long as you know that your answers were actually your own work, then you're 100% perfectly fine. Doesn't matter what your similarity score is. Is that okay? Okay,
Yes.
lovely. Yeah, so you don't have to go back and delete those where you copied the questions. If you've already submitted, that's fine. Don't waste your time. Rather prepare for the test. Mr. Halwoody?
Yeah, yes, Miss. No, Miss, I would like to suggest that maybe you indicate on the test, on the instructions that we are allowed to enter with the constitution. So
It is.
especially
It is. It is. It is
okay,
indicated in the instructions. Is indicated in the instructions. Students writing in Windhoek, I will obviously be there personally. I will ask the student support officer who circulates the test to the regional centers. I will ask her to make sure, although it is in the instructions, says that students are permitted to use a copy of the Namibian Constitution, but I'll just ask her to contact the regional centers and just remind them of that so that they don't, when you arrive to write on Saturday morning, make a big fuss of it or query you or anything. I'll just double check that that arrangement has been communicated.
exactly, Miss. Because here the regional centers sometimes people are not aware and it might become a problem.
Yeah, no, that is, I will make sure that the student support officer sends out a notification to them just to avoid any misunderstanding or problems or anything.
Thank you, Miss.
Otherwise, also for the students writing at any of the regional centers, I will be on campus with the Windhoek students, but I will have my phone with me. And you all have my phone number. My phone number is on the WhatsApp group. If you find yourself running into a problem with anybody at a regional center saying, no, you may not bring that in, blah, 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 please just phone me and let me speak to them. I am on standby to help out with administrative issues if they arise.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay. Any further questions? Mr. Halwoody, your mic is on. Okay, if there are no further questions, thank you so much for having made the time to attend. I hope this helped you a little bit, that it was useful. There were some questions that were asked, that was quite some activity on the WhatsApp group last night. I haven't had the time to go through everything that was asked or shared or whatever on the WhatsApp group yet. I will still sit this afternoon And if there's anything that I feel I need to respond to or point out to you or whatever, or assist you with, I will also respond on the group. Any further questions you have, please do ask me. Okay, thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of your preparations. I will see you then, the Windhoek-based students. I will see you on Saturday morning. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Miss.
Bye.